Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 387 based on novel. So let's start. In 10 days, the strength and aura of Xiao Yan and others were completely restored, and the remaining Monster Beast Legion was also completely new. Obviously, there have been huge changes in both strength and mentality. But don't underestimate this team of only 100 people. I am afraid that in the face of the real monster army of about 10,000, they can also fight against it. Sir, now it's time for us to go to the final battlefield. At this moment, the eyes of the 100 elites behind them were flickering with unusually fierce light. They were ready to fight, and they looked at Xiao Yang and Tianhu Yaoshuai loudly. The heat in their bodies was burning. Hard to hide. Well, it's time. Xiao Yang nodded slightly, his eyes became deep. He naturally knew that the next battle would be more intense than here. The top contact between the three elites of the Demon Emperor. At that level, I am afraid that there will be reincarnation powerhouses involved. After all, in this ancient battlefield, even the powerhouses in the center of the demon world cannot perceive, so the reincarnation powerhouse, I am afraid, will be the key to victory. And even if Xiao Yang's demonic cube is full now, it is enough to make Xiao Yang demonize without any backlash. Xiao Yang is more than enough but lacking in strength. It is one of the few terrifying forces in the Great Thousand World. The three armies obey the order. After a short thought, it seemed that there was a result and a plan, and Xiao Yang's loud voice suddenly filled the air. Wait, here. The imposing voice shook this clean and pure battlefield, and his eyes were fixed on this guy. Wait, guard here, led by Demon Commander Tianhu, to guard the last retreat for our Lord Haisha Longlang, and I will personally go to the final battlefield to provide reinforcements. Yu Yin curled up, forming a scene of thunder blasting in the void ring. What? Guard here. Let Lord Yaoshuai go alone. Sir, we are not cowards. We are willing to rush to the forefront and fight to kill the enemy. Even if we are the first soldiers, we will never complain. Seeing Xiao Yang's words, the hundreds of monsters behind him couldn't help roaring. They didn't know it at all. Xiao Yang, what does this mean? They have fought side by side together, and they are naturally unwilling to face the separation at this time. And this situation undoubtedly makes them feel resentful because they are regarded as people who are greedy for life and fear of death. Tianhu, tell me. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yang turned his head slightly and said handsomely to the Tianhu demon behind him. I understand what your lord means. As early as when we entered the ancient battlefield, Lord 10,000 Demon King told me privately that this is the last way for our entire army to retreat. Even if we can't clear the evil eye Demon King, we must try our best to clear a way out. So the importance of this Tianyuan battlefield is not weaker than the charge. I understand what you mean. But protection is more important than fighting. Tianhu Yaoshuai's earnest words emerged, shocking every monster. Wait, you understand. Lord Xiao Yang, you have to come back alive. For a while, the pupils of the 100 monsters were wet, looking at the black-shirted man standing quietly above the void, and choked up. Xiao Yang's figure was deeply imprinted in their minds. As long as you need it, go through fire and water, and do whatever it takes. Don't worry, this commander's life is very big. Everyone, there will be an appointment in the future. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and with the help of the spirit of the demon book, he directly tore through the void and walked towards the final battlefield. His figure was quite handsome. There is always a hunch that Sir Xiao Yang will become a true hero who deserves his name in the demon world. Seeing Xiao Yang's departure, a strange scene slowly emerged in the hearts of a group of strong men. One's glory is supreme. In the demon world, it can be said that the outside world is now in a state of panic, and they are fighting everywhere, making the demon hearts in the demon world quite dissatisfied. Among the ancient battlefields, there are 10 major battlefields. In addition to today, the Tianyuan battlefield was turned around by Xiao Yang with the help of an earth-shattering force. The other 8 battlefields were divided by the remaining 6 demon commanders. In addition, it was the first battlefield among the ancient battlefields. The Wild Demon Realm, this is the largest space in the huge first battlefield. At this time, 3 forces are slowly arguing. Among them, these 3 forces are the top battles in the demon world today. The Tyrant of Tianxiong, the White Bone Evil King, and only the army of the Black Evil Dragon and Wolf Guards. At this time, the colorful and mottled demonic energy was like thick liquid, slowly overflowing, and the demonic energy was soaring into the sky, like a real sinister scene. Sir, in the Tianyuan battlefield, all the power of the evil-eyed Demon King disappeared in an instant. I don't know who did it. At this time, on a mountain peak, several rather majestic figures stood here. and one of them was a black shadow. The guards came to report. Oh! All the power of the evil-eyed Demon King disappeared. What about the evil-eyed Demon King? A man in black at the edge of the tree stood up, quite puzzled. The Demon King is also missing, and at this time, countless evil auras in the Qianyuan battlefield have been expelled, and it has become like a pure land. This pure and sacred aura is probably not possessed by the 6 Demon Kings. At this moment, the guard whispered. The strength of the 7 Demon Kings is similar, and it is unlikely that a single Demon King can do it so quietly. Send someone down to have a look. Now that our 3 armies are at war, we can't draw too much strength. Let them go to the petty fights of the 7 Demon Kings. After Shorenshi, a woman with a crane-haired face spoke with a charming figure, but her voice was full of irresistible fluctuations. That is the fluctuation of reincarnation. How is the personal guard of the Black Devil Dragon Wolf? With this powerful voice, several people slowly quieted down and asked Zaidu after a while. After the Haisha Dragon Wolf's personal guards were defeated by the Qianxiong violent army, they fled in the battlefield, but now, although the Haisha Dragon Wolf still hasn't shown up, the many demon kingdoms under his command have already brought the army before him. Come for reinforcements. For a while, he was also unable to support him alone. I'm afraid it won't be long before he will ask you for support, the guard scout continued. Well, we're waiting. By the way, take a good look at the aura of the Black Demon Dragon Wolf. This guy was the real confidant of the Demon Emperor before he was sealed. I'm afraid I have found a lot of ways to break the Demon Emperor's seal over the years. No matter what, can't let him succeed. Otherwise, once the Demon Emperor is broken, the pattern of the demon world, it is good that there is no suspense. The first figure said solemnly. Does this so-called Demon Emperor really have such audacity? At this moment, a terrifying arc of light that surpassed the heavens and the earth danced on the fingers of the enchanting woman. That kind of aura is actually of the light attribute, but this guy is not a strong man from the Holy See, but a reincarnation powerhouse cultivated by the White-Bone Demon King army who arbitrarily deprived the resources of the demon world after the Demon Emperor was sealed. The White-Bone Demon King, this enchanting woman with crane-haired hair, and the extremely powerful guy around him, Samsara and the 8-star fighting immortals, one after another, made this space truly tremble. As for Tyrant Qianxiong, he was in a tense fight because he had a lot of grievances with the Black Devil Dragon Wolf. For a time, the Wilderness Demon Realm was also in jeopardy. The Wild Demon Domain, the field is vast, the army of the 3 powerhouses has been stationed here, but the White-Bone Demon King has always adopted the situation of holding his troops. On the other hand, the Qianxiong Tyrant and the Black Demon Dragon Wolf's personal guards fought extremely fiercely. Even so, the White-Bone Demon King didn't take advantage of the fire, and he has been using static breaking. In addition, this place can be regarded as the #1 battlefield of the 10 ancient battlefields because of the fact that it is also the location of the 2 town demon prisons. Among them, the demon suppression prison that seals the 2 White Kings is in the deep wild demon realm. As for the demon suppression prison that seals the only Red King, it is hidden in the depths of the Resentful Mansion battlefield. It is unknown and extremely hidden. Even if it is other strong people, there are very few people in the know. No. If we continue like this, I'm afraid we will all fall here. At this time, in the barren black desert area, countless wars and the sound of monsters fighting in the sky, one after another, among the defeated monsters, several figures couldn't bear it. Stay muttered. They were covered in scars, and their aura was extremely sluggish. It was obvious that they had suffered an extremely fierce battle. Second, behind them, the Black Monster Army was slaughtering them with high morale. Master Yao Shuai, we fought with them. There are absolutely no cowards among the soldiers in our myriad demon nation. Looking into the distance is like a locust. Wherever they pass, whether it is the Black Desert or some monsters that cannot move because of injuries, they all vanish in an instant, and the monsters behind them soldiers roared out. Calm me down. We can't just fall like this, otherwise at this time, the demon handsome's eyes narrowed and he said coldly, and there was a deep anger in his eyes. Master Snake, the desert is indeed your innate favorite. Today, let the 2 of you accompany you, the army of 10,000 monsters, to be buried here completely. At this time, the 2 commanders of the monsters stood in the sky with a huge army of tens of thousands, and sneered. The 2 of them, with 2 black horns on one head, shaped like a humanoid man, stood high in the sky and roared coldly. Blue-faced Bull Demon. The commander-in-chief of the powerhouses in the early stage of the 8-star fighting immortal stage under the tyrant Qianxiong. The other person looks exactly the same as a human being, there is nothing weird, but the breath on his body is also in the early stage of the 8-star fighting immortals. The two 8-star fighting immortal early-stage demon commanders, together with the tens of thousands of elite monster beast legions behind them, would naturally have no suspense in dealing with the army of the old, weak, sick and disabled, which was only less than 10,000. I hope the demon kings can protect the personal guards. I will wait, and I will die without any regrets. Looking at this scene, countless Dao Senran smiled and said around the black desert like of death. The leader let out a relieved smile, and then his whole body suddenly burned, and a stream of highly poisonous venom swept out along with a 1,000-meter-sized green snake shadow. Old Snake, the capable generals around the 10,000 Demon King, his strength has already reached the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortals, but unfortunately his breath is weak now, and he was beaten by the two early 8-star fighting immortal powerhouses. Do not talk nonsense. You and I will do it and catch him. After Shurenshi, the blue-faced bull demon spoke first and said to the other demon beside him, "Okay. But the venom on this guy's body is extremely weird, be careful." As soon as the voice fell, the body of the blue-faced bull demon shook, and the body of the 1,000-jong-sized bull demon came out. The cyan horns were covered with traces of sinister lines, and with the terrifying aura all over his body, the entire desert turned out to be filled with a hint of chill. "Old Snake, try my horns." Before the dazzling venom power around Snake's body was finished, the blue-faced bull demon snorted coldly, his body shook, and the huge body turned out to be shot directly at Mr. Snake's place. The terrifying airflow brought up along the way actually made the void hum, and because of the huge power contained in its body, the entire void made a faint sound of shattering. Not good. Seeing the aggressive green-faced bull demon's body coming, and even the bull's horns covered with sinister lines on its green face, Old Snake's eyes shrank tightly and he lost his voice. Snake Bundle, 10,000 Snake Dance. Watching this scene, Snake Shuai could only grit his teeth, and a trace of green blood essence burst out from his body, and then countless green snake shadows rushed out of him. "Master Snake, your attack is too weak." When the countless snake shadows came into contact with the sturdy body of the blue-faced bull demon, they were easily shaken by their horns and dissipated. "There is only this way." Looking at such a terrifying blue-faced bull demon, Snake Handsome's eyes loosened, and then a demon pill flashing with bright green light appeared gently. "Burn the demon pill." In exchange for a huge amount of power in a short period of time, the price is complete loss. However, just as Snake Shuai's palm was twisting and squirming crazily, a soft amber flame lightly wrapped his body, and even at the feet of the blue-faced bull demon who was already close at hand, there were rare flame cracks one after another. Suddenly exploded the black desert and emerged, completely isolating the Snake Handsome and the green-faced bull demon. And in the crack of the flame, a beam of light swept out from the sky, and in the beam of flame, there seemed to be a thin figure wrapped in amber flames. Is there a change? Looking at the beam of light, another human-looking monster stepped back abruptly, because from the beam of light, he clearly smelled a terrifying aura, the flame and the power contained in it. I'm afraid definitely not. Simple. This is. In an instant, Snake Handsome, who was surrounded by amber flames, saw this, but slowly opened his eyes, looked at the thin figure in the beam of light, and lost his voice. Xiao Yang. That's right. The person who came was Xiao Yang. Pretend to be a ghost. Death to this handsome. Looking at the sudden sky-penetrating beam of light and the flame figure contained in it, the blue-faced bull demon didn't have any intention of stopping. His body twisted suddenly, the horns flashing with sinister lines, suddenly facing the Xiao Yang Tian Ling Gari stab. The kind of severe oppression contained in it, even the real 8-star fighting immortal, can only temporarily avoid the edge. Bang bang bang. At this time, the amber flame figure smiled slightly, and then a palm bathed in the golden immortal flame slowly stretched out and directly held the terrifying horn. As for the horror contained in the horn, the power was actually dissolved by it. Get out of here. An extremely arrogant voice, accompanied by the strength of the hands, suddenly shook its horns. Xiao Yang, that's a powerhouse in the early stage of the 8-star fighting immortals. It's not suitable to stay here for a long time, let's go. The commander of the snake called out suddenly, his voice extremely urgent. But at this time, above the sky, the powerful horns of the aggressive blue-faced bull demon were swinging at will on Xiao Yang's arm wrapped in immortal flame. On the contrary, the force was unbalanced, and he directly twisted, and his body was swayed by Xiao Yang's swing. Get off. With a cold snort, Xiao Yang swung hard, and immediately this behemoth hit the black desert like a meteor that fell into the world. The huge collision sound that resounded through the heavens and the earth shook the minds of countless people. As for the wounded monster behind Snake Commander, the corners of his mouth became dry, and he stared blankly at the figure standing in the sky above the pillar of light. When did Xiao Yang's power become so terrifying? In the Black Desert, a huge groove of thousands of meters was directly hit by the blue-faced bull demon. Master Snake, are you alright? After Xiao Yang temporarily solved the blue-faced bull demon, he emerged from the beam of light. As for the army of tens of thousands of monsters surrounding them, they did not dare to advance at all, and their eyes were shocked. Looking at Xiao Yang in front of him was like looking at a monster. It's the old man's clumsy eyes. You are really scary. Snake put his hand on Xiao Yang's shoulder, feeling the terrifying power in Xiao Yang's body, and couldn't help laughing. Oh, this is breakthrough. After a simple induction, Snake Handsome couldn't help muttering. Well, it broke through a little bit. And the enemies in the Tianyuan battlefield have been completely expelled. Xiao Yang smiled cheerfully, quite easygoing. What? After listening to Snake Handsome, his pupils could not help shrinking suddenly, as if he heard something that frightened him. When Xiao Yang's strength was still in the early stage of the 7-star Dozyan, he was able to tie the battle with the initial stage of the 8-star Dozyan. Now that he has broken through to the middle stage of the 7-star Dozyan, that kind of combat power is probably. Moreover, as Xiao Yang said lightly, the Tianyuan mountains had been completely expelled at this time, and his heart was even more terrifying. In the Tianyuan battlefield, there are 100,000 demon beast legions of the evil-eyed demon king. Where is the degree of danger, I am afraid. We'll talk about it in a while, wait until I have dealt with these two guys first. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he threw himself into the battle. What nonsense. There are evil-eyed demon kings and 100,000 demon beast legions in the Tianyuan mountain battlefield, and you are trying to subdue them? Idiot talking about a dream. At this moment, the human-looking demon Handsome snorted coldly. Stop talking nonsense, just do it, otherwise you won't know how you died. Xiao Yang opened his mouth softly, stretched slightly, and said lazily. It seems that after breaking through the middle stage of the 7-star fighting immortals, Xiao Yang's control of power has become more powerful. Boom. With a loud voice, the human-looking monster shuddered suddenly, his body shattered, and he instantly turned into a tiger-shaped monster, a huge body surrounded by a ferocious green monster, and the fluff seemed to have some kind of special effect under the breeze. General magic. Come together. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and the amber flame suddenly formed a ferocious giant python in front of his body. The giant python formed by amber flames, the 4-color flame snake eyes flashed with an unusually cold temperature, and the countless snake scales surrounded by flames contained incomparably powerful power, and the snake letter seemed to be enough to spit out everything. Crushed clean. Blue-faced bull demon. Yuegu Yaohu. In an instant, looking at the terrifying offensive beside Xiao Yang, the two demon commanders snorted coldly at the same time. The demonic beast body erupted, and the dazzling demonic energy rose into the sky, sending both of them away. The monster body is even more terrifying. At this time, countless tiny fluffs on the blue-faced bull demon flickered with a rare dim light, and that dim light was actually absorbing the power in the dark desert, and its beast eyes contained an extreme crazy bloodthirsty, tightly locked on Xiao Yang. On the other side, the manner of the moon arc demon tiger was surrounded by demonic energy, and on the whole body was a moonbow that was vaguely solidified. The terrifying force swept out. Kill me. Seeing the two fierce attacks, Xiao Yang had no fear, and released the cold killing intent. If his strength is still in the early stage of the 7-star Dozyan, he may be a little afraid, but now he is already in the middle stage of the 7-star Dozyan. If he is dealing with the early stage of the 8-star Dozyan, as long as he is not a particularly perverted guy, obviously it will not be a problem. Obviously, the strength of the two in front of them is in the early stage of 8-star Dozyan, and they are only at the bottom. Boom. The heat wave swept across the entire Black Desert, and circles of flame energy were vented from the flame python, completely entangling the monsters that were trying to attack. The scorching temperature of the holy flame made them unable to move. Crash. At this moment, the blue-faced bull demon was roaring all over, trampling on the Black Desert, and blasting away at Xiao Yang with the destructive power that was overwhelming. At this time, the flame python swooped down, carrying amber flames, directly facing the blue-faced bull demon. Terlolo. The two just touched, and the unusually sharp voice suddenly stimulated the souls of every monster present. Boom. With a sound, the amber flames slowly poured into the body of the blue-faced bull demon along the edge where the two touched, and a deafening sound filled the air. Rao used the terrifying defensive power of the blue-faced bull demon. After being attacked by the amber flames, he couldn't help screaming. Those terrifying temperatures that could burn even the soul made the green-faced bull demon. The devil is truly moved. Everlasting ruler. When the blue-faced bull demon was bound by the flame python, Xiao Yang's body disappeared into the void like a ghost, and approached the Moonarch demon tiger. What about people? Where did you go? The Moonarch demon tiger was just about to pull Gong Xian and unleash a devastating blow, but found that Xiao Yang's figure above the sky suddenly disappeared, and asked in doubt. I'm here. The voice emerged, and immediately behind the Moonarch demon tiger, a giant ruler with dazzling flames slashed directly at it. I can't help myself, my Gong Xian is formed of special materials and fighting skills. You are playing a tiger in the class. Impossible. As soon as the Moonarch demon tiger finished speaking, he saw the exquisiteness on his body. The Gong Xian of Xiao Yang, under Xiao Yang's bleak and ancient ruler's heavy ruler, cracks emerged from it. With a sound, Gong Xian shattered, and the Moonarch demon tiger suddenly slammed, a mouthful of blood spurted out, and the aura in the body became weak at the same time. Obviously, this Gong Xian is linked to its origin. Now that Gong Xian is broken, the origin is naturally fast. Decline. I don't know who you are, but if I were you, I wouldn't waste my time here. Because the personal guards of the Black Dragon Wolf and several demon kings are probably in danger under the attack of our master. If I go now, I'm afraid it's still too late. Otherwise, those guys will die. The Moonarch demon tiger couldn't help covering his wounds and said solemnly, Master Snake, what he said. Xiao Yang tilted his head and asked, these two guys were obviously not his opponents. Sir, what they said is true. Snake said with relief. Go away. In an instant, Xiao Yang took the flaming python back and stood quietly in the sky, with his hands on his back and the ancient ruler behind him. Let's go. Seeing Xiao Yang's scene, the two demon marshals did not dare to hesitate, and immediately retreated towards the base camp with these demon beast legions. They knew that the power contained in this Xiao Yang was too strange. If he insisted on keeping them, he would probably lose more than the gains. Of course, the old, weak, sick and disabled army of Snake Commander and others could not have any influence on them, so Xiao Yang would let them go. Pass them. Monster King, where are you now? Take me. After the guys left for a while, Xiao Yang spoke slowly, his voice filled with extreme heaviness. But Xiao Yang knew that in order to find the Haisha dragon and wolf, the guards under the protection of the demon kings must go. Even if you will encounter the reincarnation level powerhouse in the demon world, must go. Listening to Xiao Yang's solemn voice, Snake Shuai's body trembled slightly, and he said, Let's talk, I have to go. Xiao Yang naturally knew Snake Shuai's worries, so he said out loud, Sir, when we entered the battlefield of the Resentful Mansion, we just joined the army of several other demon kings, and the army was attacked by the army of the Qianxiong tyrant. In the end, although we received the personal guard of the Haisha dragon wolf, our strength and the disparity between them was too great, and the losses were heavy. Afterwards, the demon commanders under their respective demon kings had to run away with the demon beast army, taking the opportunity to distract their army, while the three demon kings were protecting the leader of the personal guard. Slowly dodging their pursuit. Snake said tremblingly, his voice was extremely depressed and heavy, every word he uttered, the anger in his heart was suppressed a lot. How many powerhouses do they have? Xiao Yang frowned, obviously not expecting the situation here to be worse than he imagined. Even with the reinforcements of the three demon kings, the personal guards of the Black Devil Dragon Wolf are still like this. Falling back. Assigned by Tyrant Qianxiong himself, he is the real elite of his subordinates. According to the instructions of the Demon King before his departure, I am afraid that there will be only one strong person in the late stage of the 8-star fighting immortal, plus 2 strong people in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortal. The Snake Handsome is cold, there are no other fluctuations in the voice, and some are just calm killing intent and anger. I see. Where are they? Xiao Yang asked subconsciously. He could vaguely guess that the reason why Qianxiong Tyrant did not take action himself was to guard against the so-called Whitebone Evil King, but this level of combat power was placed on anywhere, it can be regarded as a super first-class force. Wang buzzing. Xiao Yang's questioning voice just fell, and suddenly, a rare beam of light blasted towards Xiao Yang on Snake Handsome. The beam was mixed with quite mysterious power, and it seemed to record some quite useful information. Now, I am afraid they have arrived at the cliff of the evil moon. The mysterious light group poured into Xiao Yang's body, and these extremely flat voices suddenly entered his ears. Has it reached such a serious level? Xiao Yang's flames emerged and completely wiped out this power. Naturally, this technique was used to prevent other powerhouses from discovering, so he was so careful. Master Snake, take the remaining soldiers and go directly to the Chenyuan battlefield, which has been completely cleaned by me, and is the best place for you to cultivate your health. Xiao Yang finished speaking and tore it casually, and space cracks appeared. He walked out, turned his back to them, and stared at the depths of this battlefield, never moving. But, how about you, my lord? At this moment, the commander of the snake felt how insignificant he was. He had a dignified mid-stage 8-star Dozian strength. Because he fought against the Qianxiong tyrant's army before, he was now saved by a guy in the middle of the 7-star Dozian. But in the end, Shuai was still worried about Xiao Yang's safety and said solemnly, "I'm going to meet that so-called stumbling block." As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Yang also showed signs of leaving. But, hearing Xiao Yang's flat voice, the snake handsome and tiger's body was shocked, and the words couldn't come out of his mouth. Now that their power is scattered, if they stop Xiao Yang from going, I am afraid that the few demon kings and the personal guards will be in jeopardy. Increased casualties. For a time, Snake Shuai also hesitated. "Don't worry, I know what I know." Xiao Yang showed a confident smile, and immediately asked about the spirit of the demon book in his body, stepped through the void, and walked towards the cliff of the evil moon. "My lord, where is one of the 2 towns and devil's prisons that exists?" Alas! At this moment, Snake Commander could only take the rest of the army towards the Chenyuan battlefield, and could only pray to Xiao Yang silently in his heart. Wang buzzing. The harsh roar sounded everywhere in the Resentment Mansion battlefield. One after another, scarlet evil energy phantoms and groups of unconscious green demons continued to entangle, filling the entire battlefield with a shocking taste. Obviously, this place can be known as the first battlefield of the ancient battlefield of the demon world. Isn't it a waste of time? Hey! In the silent and dark void, a few rainbow lights were chasing after me like stars holding the moon, but the terrifying offensive that erupted from his body was probably not the best among the 8-star fighting immortals. Damn, they are chasing after them. If things go on like this, our situation will probably be extremely bad. Above the void, the few people who exerted their speed to the limit, with a very unconscious figure behind them, said, "Road. This guy has burly muscles, and there are obvious scarlet scars on his skin, and traces of conspicuous bloodstains are constantly emerging. Obviously, this big man has suffered serious injuries in order to protect a few people along the way." Among the many demon kingdoms under Haisha Longlang, the Earth Rhinoceros was enough to rank in the top 20. The Earth Rhinoceros Demon King with the strength of the 8-star Dozian in the early stage, this guy is mainly defensive, and his body is extremely terrifying. If the defense is light, I am afraid that it will not be too much in the face of the attack of the real 8-star Dozian mid-stage powerhouse. These two are the leaders of the guards, and they are the true confidants of Lord Haisha Longlang. Only after they wake up will they be able to know the whereabouts of the Lord, so they must not be left behind no matter what. Among them, the Demon King has deep eyes. Looking at the people behind him, he said coldly, "The other guards have disguised themselves as us, scattered around, trying to confuse their sight." After Shun breath, the Demon King who was carrying another guard's leader also said at the same time, "This guy is Yang Ting, quite elegant, with a rare fragrance of flowers all over her body. She is also under the command of Haisha Dragon and Wolf. The Flower Demon King, an elite leader who wants to defend the Qianxiong tyrant with this strength in the early stage of the 8-star fighting immortal, plus 2 middle stage 8-star fighting immortals, is a bit whimsical, not to mention that they also have 2 taste leaders who fell into a coma. The combat power is greatly reduced. The 3, can you run well?" While the 3 of them were discussing, in the void around the 3 of them, they were suddenly completely enveloped by an abnormal **** energy ripple. Is absolutely irresistible to them. 8-star fighting immortal late-stage powerhouse, the Blood Demon King. At this moment, the 10,000 Demon King suddenly took a step forward and stopped in front of the 2 Demon Kings, resisting the invasion of the depressing energy for them, and his eyes among them, the expression was extremely serious. "And us." After a while, the sky, and 2 sounds also filled the air. 1 late-stage 8-star fighting immortal and 2 middle-stage 8-star fighting immortals really look down on us, ha ha ha. The funeral of the 10,000 demons. The 10,000 Demon King snorted coldly, and countless green demonic energy rose up into the sky, turning into countless ferocious monsters of different shapes. Without any explanation, he shot directly at the 3 people in front of him. The energy contained in it turned out to be an uneasy feeling in the Scarlet Realm of the Blood Demon King. Go! As soon as the strike fell, the entire Scarlet Realm became swaying, and the 10,000 Demon King snorted. And because the Blood Demon King did not expect such a sudden attack from the 10,000 Demon King, he could only resist his attack for a while. The 10,000 Flower Demon King and the Earth Rhino Demon King looked at each other with a solemn expression. They immediately carried the figure behind their backs. With the help of the cover of the 10,000 Demon King's offensive, they jumped down from the sky and faced the unusually eerie creature below. Off the cliff. That is the Xiao Cliff, and the depths of the Xiao Cliff is the demon suppression prison. Countless sinister bloodlights flickered in this dim void, and even from 100 miles away, one could clearly smell the oppressive aura on it. Have you found someone? At this time, above the blood-shrouded evil moon cliff, above the thick blood cloud, a icy black shadow stood. Meaning, no. These three guys are extremely careful. When they entered the Xiao Cliff, they already covered their aura. We searched all over the periphery of the Xiao Cliff, but we couldn't find their silhouette or aura. The other two demon kings shook their heads at the same time, and there was a hint of doubt in their voices. The Xiao Cliff is composed entirely of ravines and rugged stones. The route here is intricate, and it contains a lot of tyrannical aura, extremely evil and corroded demonic energy, which decorates the entire Xiao Cliff. Evil. I'm worried that they will enter the depths of the Xiao Cliff. After all, the only way to avoid our detection. After Shurenshi, one of the demon kings made a slight voice, but he was talking about the depths of the Xiao Cliff. When the time came, his eyes drooped unconsciously, as if there was something extremely terrifying in it. The depths of the Xiao Cliff. The Blood Demon King frowned. If this is the case, I am afraid that there will be a lot of trouble in capturing the three of them. After all, there is a demon suppressing prison there, and the one sealed in the demon suppressing prison exists. Guys, the only way is to let the 8-star Doshin Perfection Powerhouse take action, otherwise. Damn it. I counted everything, but in the end it didn't count that the 10,000 Demon Kings still left behind. It doesn't matter, search for me. Even if they enter the scope of the demon suppression prison, they must be arrested, otherwise the master will be blamed, and that kind of anger is not something we can resist. Even if you enter the demon town prison, let's go. The Blood Demon King snorted coldly, and the three figures sank into the Xiao Cliff at the same time, and the soldiers searched the interior carefully in three directions. At this time, a sinister and eerie aura filled the interior of the Xiao Cliff, and the strange sound of dripping water emerged, setting off the place like a devil's cave. At this time, the three of the WN Yarawang and the two unconscious guard leaders slowly stood in a rather dark rock cave. What a terrifying breath! There seems to be something evil in the depths of this evil cliff. After the figure stabilized, the myriad flower demon king's eyebrows twitched, and his beautiful eyes penetrated the endless darkness, as if he could smell something. His body is the elf in the flower, and he is naturally very sensitive to this evil aura, and he is still unaware that there are two demon towns hidden here, so he can't help but mutter. Here, it should be the evil cage of water and fire that suppresses the evil people from outside the territory. After a moment of contemplation, the demon king of 10,000 demons slowly opened his mouth. Water and fire? Could it be that during the First World War before, the army of foreign evil tribes attacked our demon world, and the two of them have the strength of the White King? The demon king of Earth Rhino couldn't help exclaiming when he heard the words. That's right. The 10,000 demon king nodded heavily. TSK, there are a lot of rumors about these two Shuangshis in the demon world. It is said that the two of them are twin brothers, the elder brother repairs fire, and the younger brother repairs water. The two complement each other, and their strength is close to the top among the 8-star fighting immortals. I don't know why they defected and became the lackeys of foreign evil tribes. What's even more terrifying is the combined strength of the two of them. Even in the face of the true 8-star Dozyan consummation, they all have the power to fight. At the beginning, the two of them attacked the demon world with the army of the evil tribes from outside the territory. They were suppressed by the demon emperor with a wave of hands, and they were immediately sealed here, forming a water-fire suppressing demon prison. I want them to repent in the endless seal. This demon town is enough to be ranked 10th. Evil cage of water and fire. The Earth Rhinoceros Demon Empress said in a melancholy voice. The shock in her voice was extremely difficult to conceal. When a few people were talking, a rather hurried figure approached them at a very fast speed. There is no time, now I have to enter the demon suppression prison, hoping to disintegrate the current situation, otherwise once the two leaders fall into their hands and let them find the place of the seal of Lord Demon Emperor and the location of the master of the Black Dragon Wolf the coalition forces will be completely disintegrated, and even the entire demon world will be completely rewritten. Listening to this hurried voice, the WN Yarrow King made a decisive move, pushed him suddenly, several people trembled, and went directly to the stone gate of the demon suppression prison. These guys, are they crazy? At this moment, looking at the few people who poured into the gate of death, the Blood Demon King's eyes shrank violently and roared. After Shorenshi, the Blood Demon King also entered it together. Outside the Cliff of Evil Moon. Are you sure it's here? At this time, Xiao Yang slowly took the help of the spatial crack and the guidance of the spirit of the demon book in his body, and came to the Shewa Cliff. Just arrived here, the uncontrollable automatic body protection of the holy flame in Xiao Yang's body, it seems that this evil cliff contains a touch of evil power that many holy flames are afraid of. Today's Xiao Yang's strength has reached the middle stage of the 7 starfighting immortals. In addition to the numerous holy flames in his body, he can be feared by the 8 starfighting immortal level powerhouse. And the powerhouses of the 8 starfighting immortal level, even among the extraterritorial evil clan, only have a very small number of emperor level, and the rest are the most terrifying and mysterious king level extraterritorial evil clan. Wang buzzing. After the breath, the holy flame in Xiao Yang's body erupted with a dazzling defensive aura, but the demon cube in Xiao Yang's body was as if he had found an evenly matched opponent. The unruly strange breath, as if preparing to compete with these evil forces. There are 2 kings of evil races from outside the realm. The spirit of the demon book transformed into a furry white mouse, hovering over Xiao Yang's shoulders, and laughed. The laughter was elegant, but it caused a storm in Xiao Yang's heart. The 2 kings of the evil race from outside the territory? Xiao Yang's pupils shrank suddenly, and he lost his voice. Well, if no one uses the sealed flower, they should still be 2 kings with the title of White King. The white mouse opened his mouth softly, as if he was telling something very inconspicuous. The 2 white kings. At this moment, Xiao Yang's mind was spinning rapidly, his brows were furrowed, and even his fists were involuntarily clenched. The strongest among the alien races is called king, and in the king level, there are 3 levels. The most basic king, black king, white king, and the red king, 2 white kings. What does this mean? This means that the 2 kings of the evil clan in this evil cliff have the lowest strength of the 8 starfighting immortals. Moreover, the power and means possessed by being able to become the White King among the evil tribes outside the territory will definitely not be weaker than any of the 8 starfighting immortals in the demon world. At this time, Xiao Yang couldn't help showing a wry smile on his face. At this time, he also understood that it was no wonder that the demon world was ranked 2nd in the world. However, no matter what kind of Longtan Tiger's den here is, you must go through it. This video will end here.